Okay, so today is April 11th. Oh, sorry, April 9th. I don't even know where April 11th came in. Well, that was the day Shemaine was murdered of 2018. That must be why, because we're pushing up to it, right, people? It's April 9th, 2021. And what I'm doing here is, okay, because we know I've got problems with YouTube, right? So here we got, okay, a video that was done in October of 2011. And you don't really hear Shemaine's voice other than go. So what I'm doing is I'm going back into my videos and I'm trying to put them into playlists where who, how, and why Shemaine died. Okay? So in other words, these are videos where Shemaine has been involved in. Now I'm trying to put them in chronological order, but I'm not being very successful at it unless I go back, delete all these, and then start over again. In other words, these videos, well, no, it would be these ones first. Okay, right, in terms of from the beginning of the time of my YouTube channel, right? So you can see we've got community issues related to poverty and or homelessness. And I'm thinking just to put community issues related, maybe slash, and then I'll put poverty and or homelessness, and then, you know, not exactly everything is related to poverty or homelessness. I mean, it is in a roundabout way in terms of community activism, but okay. So here we got who, why, and how Sierra died. So that is a playlist where, you know, as I'm going into my videos, you know, and I'm coming across videos where Sierra participated in terms of recording, you know, going with me, doing these things. So when you click on these videos, what you do is you hear Sierra in the video because she's actually recording the video. So what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to build up these playlists, and I'm going to keep this short, people. Okay, I'm just letting you know what I'm doing here, right? Upload this one on my so-called YouTube main channel, but who knows what will happen with it, really, okay? Because as I'm working on these playlists, I'm putting them in to certain categories, and as I'm going through them, I'm finding out that they're going into other playlists that they don't belong in, or they're not being put in there. It's like somebody's coming up behind me and switching shit around. And you know what? With the way YouTube staff act, I wouldn't be surprised that they're not just fucking with my head, because they've been fucking with my head, people, for a long time. My son says, you know, he goes, "What's the matter, Mom?" And I'm like, "Oh." He goes, "I don't want to hear it." And I'm like, "Well, you know, you asked," and I told him, "Well, yeah, but you know," and I'm like, "Well, you know," and he goes, "Well," I said, "Well, what do you think, right? Like, what are you thinking?" He says, "Well, you know, Mom, like, you've been going through this for a long, long time. I've been listening to this for a long, long time, people. Back in the day when I used to do park events, I'd come home, or, you know, I'd go outside of a business. I'll go into the playlist. You'll see I've done many, many things. I've gone out in the community. I've interviewed homeless people. I've gone where, you know, people have been murdered, and I've talked about that. I've gone to City Hall. That one was City Hall with my two girls that are no longer alive. I have other videos. I'm pretty sure it's either on my XP external hard drive, or they're on this is a XP internal hard drive that needs to be installed into that XP that I got from the States. Or I have an external hard drive, two of them, right? I'm on my third one, right, with videos, you know, and there are more videos related to that city council meeting where Sierra was there with Andre, and Shemaine was there, right? Daughters that are now dead, people. Like, my kids grew up with their mother being a community activist, and this is what I'm trying to say. And why YouTube wants to continue to censor that information and treat me like I'm garbage and that my family is garbage by intimidation with ambiguous accusations that lead to threats of complete removal of this channel. After all these years of going out in the community, people, and doing the multiple things that I have been doing in order for community wellness, to try and develop on programs to encourage a more rounded community wellness fucking society. Okay? Like, I'm so pissed off because I have seen my video count on videos. Upload a video, I'm at 37 views, right? I come back in a half an hour later and I'm down to 22. Like, what the hell happened to all those views? Okay, back in the day when the old days when we had better looking channels, and then YouTube decided to put everybody into a box, downgraded their service, said it was improving the service, when in fact they removed a lot of, features, right? And then they brought in their freaking troll network. YouTube was the one that brought in the troll network and attached themselves onto certain channels, with mine being one of them, because I'm a small fry, can't defend myself. I don't have 500,000 subscribers to keep the algorithm, that algorithm going. So it leaves me vulnerable for predators, people that like to play psychological warfare for their third-party selling of information as to how people react to certain things, which has already been documented with these bigger websites doing it to their subscribers, to their, people that sign up to these websites like Facebook and Twitter and whatever, right? Okay, so I went through all that, people, with Uncle John. They took Uncle John's story and they came in with their 20 fucking thumbs down, trying to scare me off, intimidate me, do whatever it was that they thought they were going to fucking do just to see how I would react. Because that's their style. That's how it came in with the park events and with the events, any kind of musical event that I was involved with, the DJ equipment, trying to promote universal school meal program, promote school restoration, youth programs, whatever programs, anything that related to music in terms of, me coming with or being around DJ equipment and music and that buzz. YouTube just harassed me to no end, people, with their copyright strike this and copyright strike that. I mean, they've eased up a little bit over the years, but it got to the point, and you see, we don't know if they've eased up on it though, people, because basically based on what YouTube and their staff were doing, I stopped going out in the community and putting myself in the fucking fire of YouTube to be cut off at the fucking neck for trying to go out there and do something good. I got tired of being harassed, people. I got tired of being ostracized and punished for trying to do the right thing in my community and in my country, and to extend a helping hand and to the United States of America. Right? Because that's really where the true community activists are in the United States of America, where most Canadians just like to sit on their freaking hands and just develop that predator class that likes to prey on the more meek in society. So, okay. My son said, why do you keep taking your hand and putting it over the element, Mom? If YouTube's been shitting on you all these years, from the beginning of fucking time, really, no matter what you do, how you do it, right? In the end, they're always coming after you for one reason or another, right? Why do you keep putting your hand over the element? My son says. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's the better server, you know, blah, I've been there a long time, blah, people, you know, have a small little crew, blah, whatever it may be. You know, it's hard to find another video provider and start all over again, right? And YouTube staff know it, and therefore they're just playing with it, people. Literally, I am being stalked by YouTube staff, okay? They gave me 2 strikes just recently. What they did, they had done to somebody else, because he posted his shit on BitChute, and it was exactly what YouTube did to me. He had a strike, they removed it, they came in, they striked him again, and then 2 weeks later, they striked him again, and that's exactly what they did to my channel. The other guy had a bigger channel. Never heard of him, nothing. I didn't come across that information until I went to BitChute, and he posted what YouTube had done to him, which was the exact same thing that YouTube did to me, all under an ambiguous freaking list of whatever. They don't even explain where you went wrong, right? Because that's not the agenda, people, right? So YouTube assigns certain people to stalk individuals on YouTube that makes videos. And it's an ongoing problem, because I know for a fact that when they changed their format back in whenever it was, right, I've got my channel, I've got videos showing the old channel, what it used to look like. And then I called it wiped out. You know, my channel wiped out. I just haven't made a playlist for that yet. I will, though. And then they came in with the troll network, people. They came in with the troll network just to do that psychological warfare on certain individuals within the YouTube so-called community, so that they could gather up that fucking data and then sell it to somebody else to make more money. I swear that's what's going on, or that's what has gone on. And now that it's all these years, people are exposing corporations that have been doing that, okay? So whatever started in 2000, and it was basically 15, right? Not so much 14, I was just coming into it, right? But as soon as they took Uncle John, that was it. I was full swing being trolled hard, people, and I know YouTube played a hand in that. And then they just kept on with it. They've oppressed my channel for all these years, right? You know, they muck with my videos, right? They make them look like crap. They freeze them, you know, they get them going like this where they don't go anywhere. They actually completely shadow ban them off the freaking search engine, even though they're still on this server. And if I come in through a different back door, I can click it on and I can show you that it actually plays. But you'll never find it through the search engine, because YouTube has shadow banned it. Okay, and now that they brought in this strike crap, now they're threatening people with that and scaring the pants off of them, because after 11 years of doing what I've been doing, they obviously don't value it, people. They don't value someone going out there and speaking on behalf of the whole community, not just the rich, right? Not just the predator class, okay? Right? So, as I'm now trying to put things, I wanted to keep this, I'm venting, people, I'm venting, okay? As I'm trying to go back into these videos and put them into playlists, if I hear Sierra's voice, and she's a part of that video, even though you don't hear her, see her, and it's in her playlist, is because she was a part of the process. Okay? In other words, Sierra came out and did things with me up by the homeless shelter because she wanted to see better for her community. Okay? That was her way of contributing and participating into building better programs for the community as a whole, so that everybody could have a better life, right? Back in those days, little did we know that we were all being set up for illegal organ harvesting and that we were expendable. None of us would have fathomed that Canada would resort to that type of activity to prop up their economy, the BC economy. Gordon Campbell's 5 great goals. Build back better now, as multiple businesses are being shut down through forced bankruptcy, through that manufactured poverty, right? So as I'm trying to add these things into the playlist, like they're not going, I'm double checking, it's in the playlist, okay? Right? Go to the next, okay? Then I go back, I check the playlist, and ending up somewhere else. It's like somebody's up there behind me fucking with my head again, people. So when they gave me that strike, I put one video up on PeepsFashion. Poof, you're gone. Of course, my stalker from YouTube staff followed me over there, put some kind of something on it so it didn't even go up. When you Google PeepsFashion, it didn't even show. Because they didn't want people to know how they're fucking harassing me. Okay? Right? So they left it hidden. Then I came in after I went and served the government and I uploaded that video onto BitChute. Because obviously YouTube doesn't want that information getting out there because one, it's too fucking real, right? And it kind of sticks with the format of what I've been doing for 11 years for all the right reasons, right? And it keeps people in their own worlds grounded to the point where, you know, they can find courage to do whatever it is that they need to do. But of course, you know, I can't upload it onto my main channel because, one, there's music in it from being in the post office. Hold on a minute. From being in the post office, you know, so, you know, that's a cue for YouTube to strike my channel again and fucking wipe it out. So I put it on PeepsFashion because I put it up on BitChute, but there's too many problems with BitChute in its own kind of way of shadow banning. Or if you're at the bottom of the totem pole, you know, you're just not going to get that bit rate or bandwidth or whatever it is. You know, it's a hit and miss. So anyway, I did another video addressing that and I put it up on the PeepsFashion before I put the one going to the post office and the courthouse to actually serve my government with that notice of civil claim. So if you want to see it, if you haven't seen it already, you can go to my PeepsFashion channel and you can see it there, because I'm not going to be loading up that many videos. Hold on a minute. Okay, so I'm looking around, people. I signed up to Rumble, but they want me to use a cell phone to verify my account, even though I've already verified it through email. So, like, that doesn't make any sense. And I don't have a cell phone. I don't want a cell phone. I shouldn't have to use a cell phone in order to verify something that I've already verified through email. They got my address. They got my home phone number. If they really want to verify, they can call me on the phone. The actual phone, you know, a real phone. See, it has a cord, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay? And Brighton, you know, you got to do everything in a special kind of format, right? Which requires a certain kind of editor, which I may or may not have, as if I've got time to go on to my Windows 10 and muck around with that. And even then, you're only allowed 50 videos with, and if, you know, after 50 videos, you have to wait until you get a certain amount of views before they'll allow you to upload other videos, right? You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know how viable that's going to be. BitChute, it's a hit and miss. The last few times I've been uploading, they've been doing pretty good. They've been going up pretty fast, but they're freezing. They're freezing. They stop playing. You know, they won't play. They'll play halfway through. They'll stop, right? Go on to PeepsFashion. You'll see the video there. I don't have too many choices, right? So, you know, I mean, YouTube is obviously trying to muck everything up. Well, YouTube staff, right? They get paid for this. They get paid to actually stalk people. Right? It's not like I'm some big fucking YouTube channel that can take those kind of tactics, people, right? I'm just a small individual with a vulnerable family, and I'm very vulnerable, and I've already lost 3 family members to the predator class. So why YouTube would want to stalk me and anything that I fucking worked for all these years, it kind of makes you wonder, like it really does. Because it doesn't stop. Like I said, I'm doing these playlists, and I can clearly see I've got them in the right part. But then when I go back to double check, they're either not there or they're somewhere else, and I have to take them out, and then it breaks up that, you know, flow. So, but that's okay. I mean, as far as I know, my channel is still here. It might not be here after this video. I will upload this one onto my main channel. But anything else after this, people, seriously, go to PeepsFashion. Okay? I'm not going to be using this channel right now. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth to throw away 20 years of trying to do something good just so that it could be somebody else's dirty secret that, you know, in terms of trying to flip the script and make it sound like that anything and everything that's happened to my family, we deserved it, because we didn't deserve it, people. And that's the point. And that's why I'm going to work on these playlists, because my kids grew up being in a family of community activists, okay? I've been a community activist for 20 years. They came to park events with me. They came outside of businesses. They fought for Uncle John. They fought for Andre. They fought for Sierra, right? They fought for the community, whether kids, whether poor people, just businesses, whatever, right? The community. And this is what we get in return, okay? This is what we get, just a lot of shady shit. And it's like my son said, why do you want to keep putting your hand over the fire burner, like a stove burner? Why? Why do you want to keep going back and doing that? The part that he doesn't understand is I have been a community activist for 20 years, you know, and it's not something that you just simply throw away. Other people would like you to throw it away because it compensates for their inadequacies, right? It compensates for their inability to be anything other than maybe selfish and not do anything outside of only what benefits them and nothing else, because we got a lot of those kind of people in the community, right? You know, the troublemakers and shit, right? The ones that want to keep control and have everybody be miserable. Well, you know, or they like violence, people. There are certain people in the community that like violence and death and murder and mayhem, because then they can go in and scoop up on those bodies and harvest the organs, the teeth, the money, whatever it is that they can capitalize off of. So they go out of their way to create mayhem and dysfunction within certain households within the community through that targeting and gang stalking. And now, with the way society is now, whatever, like I said, whatever my family's been going through all these years, there's now millions of people going through it at a much faster rate, simply because of what our governments are doing. So, you know, I've been fighting for 20 years to prevent what's happening today. So, you know, why? The only reason they'd want to shut me up, close my channel down, is to hide that information, people. As they trash talk me or allow moles that really have no say outside of gossip and rumorville and an opinion and maybe something to hide themselves. Trash me under a federal trademark, right? It's funny how YouTube promotes that when you Google New Nations Unity, but they don't bring in Shimei's videos of New Nations Unity in the title in the search engine through YouTube. I noticed that. I just noticed that recently. So I'm saying I'm being gang-stalked by YouTube staff, right? So whether they get paid for that, people, or whether this is just twisted individuals that get off on messing with people's heads, I think it's a little bit of both. I do. Because companies have already been exposed with doing psychological warfare on their clientele to mine that data so they can sell that data to somebody else. And I think that my channel has been one of the key factors in that program. Okay? So why do I want to keep my hand over the burner and continue to feed that beast? I don't have too many choices, people, unless I'm ready to fold my cards and chuck everything out in the fucking garbage. Okay? Obviously, some people would like to see that happen. Last time I spoke to the board director, which was about a week ago, he doesn't want to see that happen. So, you know, we're going to try and take care of those bank accounts, bring them down to 2, you know, and I don't know where we're going to pick up, what we're going to pick up on. I told him, you know, I know you're really upset that you don't get to do the Fasaki. If it was me, I'd call it, we'd go out, but I know you don't want to rock no boats right now. So it's all good, but we're going to preserve what we have at this point, people. So this, again, is something that YouTube has absolutely zero respect for. Okay, because, you know, they can't write the narrative. They can try and hide the narrative. They can try and manipulate the narrative. They can try and bury the narrative, but they can't write the narrative, people. That's the thing. It's not their narrative to write, although they seem to think they can. So I have to work in the confines of being gang-stalked through YouTube staff. And therefore, this will probably be my last video on this particular channel for a while anyway. And any updates on what's going on with court, I'll put it up on PeepsFashion for that being, hopefully, to let the video play without any interruptions. Without it freezing, going in circles, looking like shit. Anything to make you look bad, anything to humiliate you, anything to embarrass you. Right? It makes them stronger, supposedly you weaker. And then you end up dead with your organs ripped out of you. Well, everybody's standing around saying, well, you did it to yourself. You should have known better. And then it's on to the next victim. So anyway, and I can say that with confidence because that is what has been happening to my family, people. It was a progression done through a plot to exploit the most vulnerable and to be able to keep control of the economics in communities so that some will flourish and many will falter. And because they were so successful with doing it with my family, they've now taken it to millions of people. Whereas before, maybe it was 100,000, you know, 100,000 here, 100,000 there, you know. Now it's millions over there, and millions over there. And I'm still fighting the good fight. So, back on track. I'm trying to build up these playlists. If you're looking at a video saying, how does it relate to Sierra? under Sierra's who, why, and how she died playlist is because you'll hear her as she's recording whatever it is that we're doing, or she's in the video somewhere participating in whatever it was that we were doing, because over the years I have done multiple things for all the right reasons, to which something I get absolutely no credit for. If anything, I get gang stalked, intimidated, threatened, and abused. Right? So we're going to leave it on that. Okay? I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to have to think. I think I'm going to have to get pen and paper and write this down as I go. Because I swear, as I'm putting things in, they're moving themselves around as if somebody's going behind me and doing their own thing.